Hi, this is Matt with Bob Johnson's Computer Stuff. Today we're going to be doing a quick video on how to replace the power button board on a CF53. The power button board also has the antennas plugging into it. The cabling for the antennas around the on the upper lid on the top here runs down and connects into it as well, and it also has the SIM card slot in it. The first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to shut your computer off, make sure it's all powered down, and to remove the battery. To remove the battery, on this side here, on the right hand side of the computer, you just put your hands on the tab. There's a tab here, there's a groove right about here. You put your hands on the tab and pull it down, and there's a switch on the bottom right here in the center. You pull the switch and then you can pull the battery. This one, the battery has already been removed. You make sure that there's no power going to the machine, and then you'll open the lid. There's 3 screws, one here, and one here that you need to remove. Just use a Phillips head screwdriver. Then go ahead and close the lid, and in the back there's clips on the back of the plastic hinge covers here. If you just carefully apply pressure to the back of them, pushing inward, and up at the same time, it'll pop them out of their place, the clips out of their place. And then you just open the lid back up, and you can either use your fingers to pull the cover up, or I usually find it easier to get a small flathead screwdriver and get under the corner of it and lift it up. From there, the power button board is right here. In order to take it off, there's the wiring. There's usually a plastic cover over the wiring to protect the wires. You just pull the plastic covering off. The wires are color coded on the board. It's labeled, so you don't have to worry about, oh, am I putting the wires back in the right place when you go to move it. Just pull the wires off. It's labeled. If you look carefully at the board, there's a W for white, a B for blue, a G for gray, and BK for black. So you know where to put the wires. It's the same for the in and the out on the wires. Once these wires are out of the way, just one second, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see better. Okay, so there is some more wiring here for the wires that run to the cards underneath the computer. It actually runs from here to just here and down and through the bottom to the actual cards, so the wireless cards. But you just need to disconnect these wires here and pull them out of the way for now. And then this cable here, there's a little black cable here, right here, with the white connector on it. This is for the speaker. You just disconnect that speaker cable carefully. You can either use your fingernails or you can use your flathead and carefully push it out. This here is a slider that holds this ribbon cable in place. I just typically get a flathead and on either side carefully, little by little, push the slider forward. You don't want to apply too much pressure and break it. Just a little bit of pressure carefully on each side to push it forward enough to pull the ribbon cable out. Now all the wiring's disconnected. There's a screw. Let me try to pull these wires out the way so you can see it. There's a screw right in here. It's a small black screw. You just need a Phillips head screwdriver to go ahead and remove that screw. And then you should be able to just carefully lift the board up. There's another screw right here in the corner as well. You just remove both the screws and you can carefully lift the board up after all the screws are removed. Just pull the wiring to the side and you can carefully lift the board up and out at an angle. As you can see, it has the inputs for the different wires for the wireless. It's got the input for the speaker, the ribbon cable connecting it to the main board, and in the back it's got the SIM card reader, SIM card slot in the back. And then the power button itself is on the far right side. Then you just take your replacement one in. I don't need to replace it, so instead of replacing it, I don't need to replace it, so I'm just putting the other one back in. I find it easier to sit it in its position and then plug all the wires in, then screw the screws back in, which is what I'm going to do here. As I said before we took the cables off, it's color coded, so just put the wires where they go according to the color coding on the board. You just carefully put the cable in place and push down. There'll be a light clicking sound as it goes on. And these cables can be a little difficult to get on from time to time. Don't force these on, just carefully push them into place. Once you have all those on, you can put these wires on in any order that you want. I always put the wires for the antennas on first and for the wireless on first. Then I do the ribbon cable and then I do the speaker cable. You can put them on any order you want. It's not going to really affect the install, just out of preference. This is the way I prefer to do it. When you're putting the ribbon cable in, just make sure that the connector is open while you put the cable in, and then go ahead and push it closed, firmly closed, once you have the cable in place so it gets a good connection. And then for the speaker cable, it just slides into place and plugs in. Last step here is to put the two screws back in their place. And then you need to pop the antenna cover back on. Let me zoom back out a little bit so you can see this part. You pop the antenna cover back on. Make sure the keyboard cover, hinge covers, bezel back on. Make sure you have the rubber for the power button in its place before you put it back on. It can be difficult to get it to stay there sometimes. It'll just fall out and won't sit in place. If that happens, if you just sit it over top of the button, it'll usually stay in place for you to put it on. You just cover, make sure not to pinch any of these wires in here. I usually pull these forward a little bit, the antenna wires here, so that they don't get caught up. Make sure to put your plastic covering back on over top of the antenna wires. It just helps hold them in place. Once you push this and put it in place, just push down, you'll hear it click in the back. And then I always close it and double check the back. If you see gaps, you see any gaps in here where it shouldn't, where it shouldn't be, then you know that you need to just push it and click in place. And also double check, because the wires do tend to get caught in the back on the left hand side. You need to make sure they don't get caught before you screw it back down, or you're going to have to pull it back apart to correct that. Then you just get your screws back, put them back in the 3 screws back in on the cover. That's it. You've installed replaced the power button board. It's also the SIM card slot and wireless antenna board. It has a couple different functions. You've replaced it. That's it for today's video. If you have any questions, any comments, or any suggestions, just let us know. You can send us an email at any time to our tech support email, which is tech_support@bobjohnson.com. Or you can give us a call at our toll-free number of 877-202-7788. That's it for today's video. Have a good day. If you have any questions, just let us know.